Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're talking about 5 essential things that you're going to need for your Q50 or your Q60. So let's get right into it. First thing I believe is blow-off valves. Blow-off valves are really important for this platform because it doesn't come with recirc valves with the 2 turbo setup that it has. And because it's not a recirc valve, all that boost pressure gets forced back into the compressor blade of the actual turbos. So because of that, that can shorten the lifespan of the actual turbos and cause premature shaft play. Blow-off valves will definitely be one of the most important things that will keep your turbos very reliable, because honestly, I actually did the research, and I think in the service for turbo replacement, if you use to pay for it yourself without any warranty, you're going to be looking at $4,700 all the way up to $5,800, and that's before any taxes or labor. So you're looking at a very expensive job. So if you're going to spend a quick $500 to save those turbos, I would go ahead and do it, because it'll save you a lot of money, because turbos are not expensive to replace. So this is my blow-off valve setup right here. You've probably seen it before. I have the HKS blow-off valves, and honestly, they are very good, very well crafted, engineered well, and they're sturdy. Like, you can tell just by holding it in your hand that they're built well and they do the job. So while we're under the hood, we're gonna go right into the second thing, which is, I believe, the catch can. So with this direct injection motor of the VR30 DDTT, you're not getting any fuel inside of the intake manifold or yet the intake valves. So you're not getting fuel sprayed onto the backside of the intake valves, so it's not cleaning the intake valves. So that vapored oil that recirculates through the engine because of the turbo setup, it just goes right into the backside of the intake valves and the intake manifold. And without a catch can, you get extra oil vapors that's collecting inside of the intake portion of the engine, and it's causing carbon buildup. And carbon buildup can rob horsepower. It can shorten the lifespan of the actual engine and cause the engine to need a rebuild sooner than later. So with having an oil catch can, I believe from personal experience and knowledge is that this is an important thing to have on your VR30, just to keep it a little more reliable, a little more longer. So with that said, let's actually go into the next thing, I believe, which is very important and essential. Tires is the next thing, I believe, is the next portion of this video that you're going to need for your Q50 or your Q60. And this portion is not just for the vehicles with the VR30, but it could be the vehicles with the VQs as well, the ones that have run flats and have the Potenza RE97 AS, the run flats. I actually did the research on the price on these run flats, and honestly, these things are ridiculous, because I compare these to the Gmax tires that I'm looking at right now, and the price difference is astonishing. Honestly, for a low performance tire that the Potenzas are, they are a lot of money. $246.49 on TireRack.com versus the high performance tire that I'm looking at, which is Gmax AS05s, which is a way better performing tire for all season. They're not run flat, they're lighter, they perform better, and they're cheaper. Like, I don't understand why Potenza, like the Bridgestone Potenzas, are so expensive, because these run flats, from personal experience, are not great. They're not good either. Honestly, when it's semi-slick outside or icy or even rainy, the vehicle doesn't stick like it should. I don't feel very confident driving, hard, putting my foot into it. when it's a little wet outside, because my car will actually four-wheel spin with these Potenzas, and that's a problem. These all-wheel drive cars should be able to hook and go, but the Potenzas, they're not doing it for you. And honestly, you will have a better experience actually driving spiritedly with better performing tires rather than the run flats. And not only that, they'll probably last longer and save you money in the long run without having to use these tires. This next one pertains to all Q50s in any year, and Q60s 2017 and newer as of this video. So, infotainment. If you're thinking, what do you mean infotainment? What I mean is the infotainment in these cars are not very engaging. They're old, they're outdated, and it's not very good. But there's a few things on the market right now that you can actually purchase to make it better for you and your user experience. So one thing, you can actually buy a Phoenix Tesla screen for your Q50. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I'm looking at. So a Phoenix Tesla screen actually replaces both screens and they make it into one screen. It's actually a very good system. As of right now in this video, they're coming out with a Mark III. And a Mark III has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay integrated into the actual system. And it has a PX6 chip in it. And honestly, it's very quick. It's very reliable. More reliable than the Mark II and the Mark I. And it's very expensive too. So that is probably the most expensive option as of right now. And there's another option, actually two other options, which are pretty much the same, where you pretty much take the top screen out. And when you take the top screen out, you're pretty much putting in some RCA cables that pretty much can pretty much piggyback this screen and make it into Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You plug your phone in as you would normally, and then it'll make it Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Honestly, if your car can run Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you will stay most current up to date, because as phones update, so does Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So there's always going to be most updated maps, most updated looks, most updated UI, most updated designs in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So that's why it's very important for these car manufacturers to run those systems, because that software stays up with the times. It's hard for these car manufacturers to keep up, because when they're trying to make their own type of software, especially software that's well integrated with cell phones, a lot of them fail to do that properly. But the fact that Android and Apple has come with their own softwares to integrate with the cars, that actually works better on a consumer's behalf, so that we can enjoy our cars in the long run, and that when more updates come, we enjoy the updates rather than waiting 5 years to buy a new car so that we can have an updated system. So that's why I believe that's an important thing to have when you own one of these cars, especially if you plan to have it for a long period of time when you're buying your car. So number 5, I believe, to me personally, you're gonna need a tune with your Q50 or your Q60. And it doesn't have to be crazy aggressive, but when you get tuned, it actually changes the drivability of the actual car. So the car won't be as sluggish. Not only that, it'll be more fun. And with ECU tech, you can actually change maps. So if you want it to be very, very mellow, you can have a map for that. But when you want to have, a little extra fun, or, just be wild, you can switch it. And it changes the way it drives. It changes the way it shifts. It shifts harder. It revs out longer. It's just an overall more fun car to drive when you have it tuned. So me personally, I believe that is something that you should get with your Q50 or your Q60 with the VR motor platform. But we're not done there. I have 2 honorable mentions that I would like to bring into this video right now. If you plan on having fun with your car, and when I say having fun with your car, what I mean is you plan on going to the track, either whether you're drag racing or autocrossing, anything like that. These 2 things I highly recommend you upgrade, especially if your car is gonna be tuned. The first thing is a heat exchanger. You're gonna need to get a heat exchanger to support that extra heat that's coming from your turbos when you're running higher boost. And not only that, to keep your coolant cool so your car doesn't pull timing and reduce power output, especially when you're racing. And not only that, you want to upgrade at least your brake pads. I understand that not everybody has ex bono brake calipers and the big brake setup, but if you upgrade at least your pads, you will have a better performing car overall at the track. So pads, upgrade the fluid, that way it can resist higher temperatures, and the heat exchanger. If you do those things, if you plan on having fun with your car, and the 5 things I told you about, you wouldn't have an issue owning your Q50 or your Q60. You will actually love your car because it'll actually drive and perform exactly how you want it to. And not only that, it'll keep you entertained with an upgraded infotainment system. So those are 5 essential things that I believe that you need with this platform. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put it in the comments below. And if you like my content, always subscribe. Show your boy some love, and we can possibly get this channel growing a little more. All right? I see you in the next video.